o'clock.
This is a Fox News alert. Contempt of Congress. I'm Lisa Brady. The House just holding a vote that sends a Trump White House aide to federal prosecutors for review. Fox's Jared Halpern is live on Capitol Hill.
The House of Representatives voted to hold former Trump administration aide Steve Bannon in contempt and send the criminal citation to the U.S. Attorney's Office.
We believe Mr. Bannon has information valuable to our probe. He was deeply involved in the so-called Stop the Steal campaign.
Mississippi Democrat Benny Thompson, chair of the Select Committee, says Bannon has no legal reason to refuse a subpoena. Bannon has cited an executive privilege claim made by former President Trump. Indiana Republican Jim Banks says the committee is not engaged in fact-finding.
He is a Democrat Party boogeyman. The Select Committee despises Steve Bannon's politics.
9 Republicans joined every Democrat to approve the contempt resolution, 229 to 202. Lisa.
Thanks, Jared. Meantime, shut out on social media after the riot, the former president is launching new competition for big tech, Trump Media and Technology Group, announcing it today along with a new social media platform called Truth Social. Attorney General Merrick Garland spending part of his day on the defense at a House hearing, Republicans hammering away at a federal response to protests at local school board meetings. Louisiana Republican Congressman Mike Johnson telling Fox News,
instead of addressing the major issues facing the country, they're inserting the DOJ into culture war matters.
Garland telling the House Judiciary Committee the Justice Department supports parents' free speech rights.
I can't imagine any circumstance in which the Patriot Act would be used in the circumstances of parents complaining about their children, nor can I imagine a circumstance where they would be labeled as domestic terrorism.
He says the goal is trying to prevent violence and the threat of violence. America is listening to Fox News.
Here's a fact. COVID hospitalizations of young people have tripled since the start of summer. Also a fact, vaccines are highly effective in preventing hospitalizations and deaths, even from the Delta variant. If you've got questions about COVID vaccines, talk to a doctor, because our kids are irreplaceable. We can do this. Find vaccines near you at vaccines.gov. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services.
This is a metaphor for your business's journey. Sometimes it feels like the world is throwing everything it has at you. And to succeed, you need someone to guide you through. That's what Dell Technologies advisors do. They have the Windows PCs and tech advice to help you navigate whatever challenges you're up against and get you safely to where you want to be. Call an advisor today at 877-ASK-DELL. That's 877-ASK-DELL. A start to a simpler experience with Windows 11 Pro.
The gang that kidnapped 17 missionaries in Haiti, mostly Americans, is now threatening to kill them if demands aren't met. White House spokeswoman Karine Jean-Pierre.
We have in the administration been relentlessly focused on this, including sending a team to Haiti from the State Department, working very closely with the FBI, which is the lead in these kinds of matters.
The group has been demanding $1 million for each missionary. In a video posted today, the gang leader also threatened Haiti's prime minister and the national police chief. A winter weather forecast is out.
The National Weather Service predicts that about 2/3 of the country will see warmer than average temperatures from December through February, and that the South will be drier than normal while the North will be wetter. That pattern is being dictated by a second straight La Niña winter, which means parts of the Pacific Ocean will be cooler than normal. An expected dry winter in the West could worsen drought conditions in several states, including Nevada, Wyoming, Utah, and Southern California. However, forecasters think drought conditions could improve throughout the winter in the Pacific Northwest.
Fox's Kevin Uretsky. Forecasters do not expect the type of blizzards that socked the Northeast and Texas last winter. Dr. Phil and his production company face a sexual assault lawsuit.
A woman who appeared on Dr. Phil in 2019 is suing McGraw and the show's parent company, Viacom-CBS, claiming she was sexually assaulted at a Utah treatment center that McGraw recommended to her parents. In the lawsuit, according to the Wrap, Hannah Archuleta, then a teen, said that McGraw and others associated with the show made unqualified positive representations concerning Turnabout Ranch, a troubled teen facility in Utah. She alleges she was sexually assaulted twice by a male staff member and then physically and psychologically abused by ranch staff in retaliation.
Fox's Michelle Polino. The production company says none of the defendants have anything to do with that program. I'm Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Throughout the evening hours, we'll gradually see some increase in clouds pushing in from the west, with temperatures slowly sliding into the 30s. We'll drop down to a low in the upper 20s tonight, with northwest winds around 5 to 15 and cloudy conditions. Decreasing clouds in the morning of Friday will give way to a partly cloudy to mostly sunny afternoon with a high in the mid-40s, and then upper 40s close to 50 for Saturday, still partly cloudy with southeast winds between 10 and 20. From the Flag Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
At Menards, we purchase truckloads of paint to pass the savings on to you. Check out our huge selection of paint from Dutch Boy. These paints and primers in one have superior protection for your wall. Get a gallon of interior flat paint for only $19.99 after 11% off and $8 rebate. Right now, save 11% on everything at Menards. Savings are a mail-in rebate. See store for details.
Save big money at Menards.
Celebrating America, 1 hour at a time.
We're taking back
Taking back our freedom right here, right now, today. I've got breaking news for you folks. I'm going to share with you a story that I am so stunned by. I'm not even sure the best way to frame it today because I literally just got this breaking news information. Here's why I want to start today's show. I've never done this before, but I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to invite you because of what I'm about to lay out for you. I'm going to invite you right now, wherever you are. If you're in your office, if you're in the car, maybe don't do this in the car unless you can actually do voice text. But I'm asking you, I'm inviting you right now to call, text everybody you know to tune into this show right now. And I mean right now. Because what I'm going to lay out for you is going to show you where this nation is at today and how and why it's so important that you and I get serious about what this opening just said to you, taking back our freedom. Taking back our freedom. And we're going to do it leading with love. What I'm going to share with you today, folks, is going to make you angry. I'm just telling you that right now. It's going to make your blood boil. Don't fall for the trap. It's a trap. That's why they've got Merrick Garland sitting in testimony today talking about parents showing up at school board meetings being domestic terrorists. It's a trap. It's a trap. They want to see you angry. What I'm going to share with you today is going to make you angry. Do not fall for the prey, fall for the trick. Okay? I've got to get some things set up here in the studio. Welcome to the Chris Berg Show. As always, thank you so much for joining us. Number to call into the show, and believe me, you're going to want to have this phone number by you today, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Definitely want to know your point of view and what we're going to be talking about this afternoon. Again, I have to start the show by saying thank you. Thank you to the Chris Berg Show community. Thank you to our audience. The breaking news I'm about to share with you, I literally just got moments ago from a listener. They sent me the link. I saw it, had a few moments to do some homework on it, and I am just, as I'm sure you can tell my voice, I'm stunned. I'm stunned as to what's happening right now, not just in our nation, also in our community. Here's where I want to go. Fergus Falls. We are going to have a call to action today, okay? We are going to have a call to action today in the show. That's what the show is about. It's about faith, freedom, and action. So there will definitely be a call to action. Stay with me for that. I'm going to give you the contrast of two situations. First one, I'm going to share with you some information about a surgeon in Fergus Falls because I just want to give you the context here around this breaking news. Then I'm going to share with you what he said later in the show. But this is so important, folks. So think about this. You have been through med school. You've committed your life to improving other people's lives. Keep in mind, med school. That's going to be an important piece of this puzzle as I lay this out for you today. So you understand science, you understand health. You've been through the education system to get a very deep knowledge as a surgeon of how the human body works, viruses go around, nutrition. You get what I'm trying to say. Now, you've committed your life to this. You've been through med school and you've been a surgeon for 16 years. 16 years you've served the health and well-being of your community. I need us to take a moment and appreciate what it means when a human being commits 16 years of their life to their profession to improve people's lives. Some of you may be out there listening and have done this already. Maybe you've been in your industry for 16 years. For other of us that haven't, 16 years is a long time to commit your life to other people, to show up as a servant. Now, I don't know this surgeon at all, okay? I'm presuming that he's an outstanding surgeon because he's been there for 16 years. So I'm going to make an assumption today, which I don't like to do, but I'm going to assume this guy has done a very, very good job in order to be there. Now, what I'm going to lay out for you today, folks, the surgeon alludes to it, but this is why I'm saying to you, do not give in to a spirit of fear. You and we're going to go out in the world and we're going to lead with power, love, and a sound mind. That's the spirit that you and I give into. Power, love, and a sound mind. So keep that in mind. Don't fall for their trap. So this came out just a few moments ago. I'm going to read you an article from I think it's the Fergus Falls Journal, to give you an idea of where we're going here. And then I'm going to play a couple of clips for you that will, I think just blow your mind when you contrast the two. We've been saying now for weeks on the show, they're coming for your kids. Please, I hate that those words even come out of my mouth. Please hear me. Please understand what's at stake. And let me back up for a moment before I share this with you. If you're going to get people to get angry, if you're going to use a strategy to get people to get angry, if you're going to use a strategy to get people to think irrationally, what would you do? And I'm asking you sincerely, if you out there, and I know for some of us, here's the hard thing about what we're seeing right now in the world. Some of this stuff is so wrong. Some people might say evil. I'm going to say it's so wrong that it's hard for many of our minds to even go there. And I just, for a moment, if you can put yourself in those shoes, thinking from their point of view, and you know who I'm referring to, if you were going to put fear into people, if you were going to do things that would get people to act irrationally, that's their trap, to act irrationally, what would you do? You'd go after their kids. Because what do you and I say? I would do anything for my kids. They know this. You would do anything for your kids. So when you start to go after somebody's kids, that is a trigger to get people to do things irrationally. Very important to understand the strategy. So let me share this with you, then we'll get into what I'm talking about specifically. This is heartbreaking, folks. Members of the Fergus Falls community were made aware that Dr. Jeffrey Horrick, longtime general surgeon at Lake Region Healthcare, again, a surgeon, a doctor, please keep that context, no longer has privileges to practice at the facility at Lake Region Healthcare as of October 20th, 2021. Why? Why does this doctor, the surgeon that's been there for 16 years, no longer allowed in the building? Here's why. This announcement comes 2 weeks after Dr. Horrick spoke in favor of parents making healthcare decisions for their own children at a school board meeting. Start to see the plan. School Board Association comes out saying parents are domestic terrorists. Moments later, Merrick Garland, the Attorney General, comes out with a memo suggesting, hey, we're going to follow this. I got the clip for you today when he testified where Jim Jordan said, Hey, I'm curious, how did you know there was all these incidents of violence and things going on at these school board meetings? Garland says under testimony, oh, it's because that's what the school board association said. Wait, what? You're the attorney general of the United States and you're going to put a memo out painting parents as terrorists and you haven't even done the homework or gotten the data from the FBI? You're going to take a school board association's quote unquote word for it? Stunning. So now keep in mind, this is a doctor coming out and speaking in favor of parents' personal choice. The meeting garnered a very high community attendance about implementing a 10-day mask mandate. Now, the following statement was provided by Kent Matson. He's the CEO of Lake Region Healthcare. We're going to give out his contact information later in the show because he will be our person of action today for you to reach out to if you feel led to. Yes or no, however you feel about the situation, you can let him know your point of view. So the statement from Kent Matson, he's the CEO of Lake Region Healthcare, says Lake Region Medical Group provided notice to Lake Region Healthcare that Dr. Jeff Horick will no longer be available for general surgery services at LRH after October 20th, 2021. Matson went on to explain that Horick was placed on LRMG for services at LRH under professional services agreement. We sincerely appreciate Dr. Horick's 16 years of service to our patients and our organizations, and we wish him the best as he transitions his practice from here. Matson declared, sharing that LRH is working with this organization to ensure continued access to excellent general surgery services through the organization's complement of talented and dedicated general surgeons. Matson did not specify why Horick no longer has privileges at LRH and did not address questions relating to the school board meeting that Horick spoke at. No clarification was given regarding whether or not without cause termination agreement was in place. Now, here you have a surgeon who understands science, goes to a school board meeting, says, hey, I believe this should be a parental choice, because again, I'm going to ask you the question, who do you think has the best interest of your kids at heart? Who has the best interest of your kids at heart? And I will remind you, I think it was last week, I played for you the clip for the Secretary of Education who could not answer that question. He was asked directly by a U.S. Senator, hey, would you agree that parents probably have the most say over their child, their child's education? He could not say yes or no to that question. So I just want you to understand, as I ask you this question, it may seem rhetorical to you until you get inside the Biden administration, then it's no longer rhetorical. They think they have the rights to your kids. That's why I'm telling you, they're coming for your kids. It'll make you act irrational, and they think they know what's best for your kids. You have to have that context. Now, I want to play one more clip for you here. And again, I just got this information, so I'm not even sure how exactly I want to frame this. But if you were going to instill certain ideas into somebody, into their brains, how would you go about doing that? And a better question might be, how malleable do you think a preschooler's brain is? When you think about a preschooler, how malleable do you think a preschooler's brain is? And then let me ask you this. Do you know how many studies have been done in regards to the efficacy of masks on kids in schools? There was one. This has been one of the hottest topics in the United States of America. There has been one legitimate, fairly decent study by the CDC in Georgia. And even in Georgia, it came back as inconclusive evidence. The one real legitimate study about the efficacy of masks came out of Ireland. They actually did a fairly decent longitudinal study in regards to mask efficacy for kids, and it still wasn't good. Like, it didn't bode well for mask use on kids. I want to set all that context up because now, remember, you've got a surgeon who I'm going to play his testimony for you in a moment, and then you've got a woman teaching preschoolers, which she might be a surgeon, but I've not heard that in the news, so I'm going to presume that she's not. Here's what she is doing, again, with young kids. These are preschoolers, folks. Please listen closely. These are preschoolers, and you and I are told to follow the science. And now there is no conclusive study that shows that masks are efficient and effective at mitigating COVID within young kids. Listen closely.
2, 3. Ready? I wear a mask to school. I wear a mask to school. Hi ho the dairy-o. I wear a mask to school. It helps to keep me safe. It helps to keep me safe. Hi ho the dairy-o. It helps to keep me safe. It keeps my friends safe. It keeps my friends safe. Hi ho the dairy-o. It keeps my friends safe. And let me see a hooray! Put your hands up in the air!
No conclusive evidence for that. But a preschool teacher has your preschool kids or preschool kids singing that. Again, how malleable are preschool kids' brains, right? Singing that. And yet we've got a doctor. I'm going to share with you what a actual surgeon in our community says. And then you tell me which one do you think should be fired? Because we already know what happened to the doctor, right? Do you think this teacher got fired? Do you think this teacher got fired for having little kids sing a song in regards to keep your friends safe? I wear a mask because... No, we don't even know if that's true. We don't even know if that's true. And she's probably getting a job, probably even getting a raise for all you and I know. And a surgeon shows up, which I'm going to share with you in a moment, talks actual science. And now the guy can't even go back and do what he loves to do, which is help people in their health. As you can tell, I'm stunned. Kevin from Fergus Falls is on the line. We got to go to a break. When we come back, we're going to get to Kevin's call. I'm going to share with you what this doctor said at the school board meeting, because this is where I think you're going to go, wait, what? What is going on? And then we're going to share with you what and how you can get a hold of the CEO, Kent Matson, at Lake Region Healthcare to kindly, lovingly share your point of view with them. Number to call into the show. Would love to know your point of view in this. 701-271-1100. 701-271-1100. It's the Chris Berg Show.
If you see your
lots of different things. And most of those things just don't work. And they're searching things that do work. Non-surgical spinal decompression is a type of treatment done with a specialized machine that has very high success rates. And we're lucky to be one of the few clinics in the entire state that has it.
My name is Sydney, and I had debilitating back pain for 11 years. I went into the clinic to receive treatment. After 8 treatments, I had been feeling much better. After those 8 treatments, I was back to playing volleyball, golf. Dr. Z at the clinic helped me get back to the sports that I love.
A research study performed on low back patients that had already failed medical, chiropractic, and physical therapy, in other words, the surgery group, had a 90% success rate with decompression treatment. So whether it's chronic lower back pain, sciatica, knee injuries from running, neck pain, headaches, or shoulder problems, the clinic can help. Find us at theclinicnow.com. That's theclinicnow.com. theclinicnow.com.
'Tis the season for client gifting. This year, the elves at Grateful Craples are ready to take the stress of gifting off your shoulders. Just think, no building boxes, no long post office lines. Simply choose your gift set, send us your spreadsheet, and we'll take it from there. We are currently booking 2021 gifting dates. Call Danny at 532-1630, visit us online at gratefulcrapefuls.com, or stop by our showroom at 300 Cheyenne Street in West Fargo today.
Hey, are you waiting just like me for the big news about President Trump's big announcement? Well, Newsmax has been one step ahead of the big media on Trump's next big move. That's why I go to Newsmax.com for breaking news. I also watch Newsmax TV at home or on the free Newsmax app on my phone. It's great. And I even get Newsmax magazine. That's right, Newsmax has a monthly magazine with writers like Bill O'Reilly, Ben Stein, Dr. Laura, and the real news you can't find anywhere else. The media won't tell you about Biden's radical agenda. Newsmax will. Newsmax magazine has over 700,000 monthly readers. And now it has a great offer for you. Sign up today and Newsmax will give you a free emergency radio worth $30. Federal agencies say every family should have an emergency radio. These days, you really need an emergency radio. So get it free with Newsmax magazine. Just call 1-800-NEWSMAX. That's 800-NEWSMAX. And get the emergency radio free today and watch Newsmax TV.
My part-time service in the Army National Guard makes it possible for me to be more for the community I call home. I'm a better neighbor because my service has taught me how important it is to be a team player. My training helps me in my classes when I give attention to detail to the task at hand. My service in the Army National Guard allows me to keep my country safe from threats. Learn more about how you too can live and serve part-time by visiting NationalGuard.com.
Sponsored by the North Dakota Army National Guard. Aired by the North Dakota Broadcasters Association at this station.
Of our strength, the more new.
Berg Show, yes, in God we still trust. Amazing show. And we had some breaking news right before the show where a surgeon that had been at the Lake Region Healthcare Facility in Fergus Falls, no longer there after 16 years of service. It is being suggested that it's because he spoke up at a recent school board meeting. Ring a bell? School board meeting, school board association, Merrick Garland, Attorney General. I'm going to play the clip of him speaking here in a moment. And first, we've got a phone call from Fergus Falls that I want to get their point of view in the situation. If you want to call into the show, if you're just joining us, it is, in my opinion, shocking news. And you've got teachers going out and singing songs with preschoolers about wearing masks. And all this doctor said is, hey, I think it should be a parental choice. Number to call in, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100. Kevin from Fergus Falls, welcome to the show. What's your point of view, sir?
Chris, thank you again for taking my call. And I did get a hold of Scott to say thank you for this slot. Anyway, that's beside the point. This is my country. This is my state. This is my county. This is my town. This is my block. And actually, even before how to get a hold of the CEO, I got right up to administration of Lake Region Healthcare, and I made my point of view. Here's another thing you got to know. I have a beautiful, my oldest child's son is a teacher here. He's a good guy that just loves these kids. He is so against this stuff. And if this guy, you know what? I don't even know how to express this. This just angers me. And I go, this is in my backyard. Maybe I need that surgeon. He's probably one of the best guys up there. In fact, I have a local practitioner doctor that I trust. He's still in that organization. Trust me. Yeah, I'm angry, but you got to understand that I have insiders. I have my middle son is a teacher in Alec doing the same thing. They don't buy this crap. And there is pushback. But you know what? My heart just went out for the guy. He just got nailed. He's on the front line. He just got shot. You know what? I wish I could be there. I feel very bad for the CEO and these decisions being made. I only work in heating and cooling, but trust me, I wouldn't go to their houses and they can freeze for all I care. I know this sounds really mean. Well, I don't care.
Kevin, I this is what I'm saying, and I thank you for the phone call, sir. A couple things that I want to get out here real quick is one is, folks, how do you overcome evil with good, right? Love never fails. And so I understand what Kevin's saying, but that's what I'm asking is don't fall for the trap. They're trying to trap you. That's why after the January 6th event, I'm not a proponent of what happened on January 6th. All I'm saying is that's where they went to the domestic terrorist conversation. I've got clips here from Joe Biden around domestic terrorism that I hope I will get to later in the show that, again, are stunning. Do not fall for the trap. I'm telling you, the kids piece is a setup. They think they own your kids. They know if I can go after your kids, you're going to act irrationally. Please stay in a place of peace, power, love, and a sound mind. We have to stay there. Otherwise, they're going to start tagging you as a domestic terrorist. I don't want to see anybody have that label put on them. So when we come back, I'm going to play the clip of this doctor at the Fergus Falls School Board meeting. Again, this is a doctor, okay, again, nothing against preschool teachers. I love preschool teachers, but not a preschool teacher singing a song. This is a doctor speaking from a place of expertise at a school board meeting. Stay with us. That's coming up right after this.
I'm Susan Lee, and this is the Fox Business Report. Stocks finished mixed with the S&P 500 notching a new record close as investors digest another batch of earnings reports and upbeat data on the labor market. The Dow falling 6 points, the Nasdaq up 94, S&P 500 up 14. And shares of WeWork jumped over 13% during its Wall Street debut. The shared office company went public through a special purpose acquisition company more than 2 years after its failed IPO. And Mattel delivered an earnings and revenue beat and raised its sales growth forecast for the year as the toy maker continues to see strong demand for its toys, action figures, and games. And Apple employees who have not been vaccinated or who decline to report their vaccination status will be required to take a COVID-19 test every time they enter the office, while vaccinated workers must take rapid tests once per week, according to Bloomberg. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Hillary Barsky, invested in you.
Any supplier can drop a box outside your door. But if you want a partner who delivers great customer service too, rely on Cintas. Your dedicated service reps can deliver what you need to help your business run smoothly. From essential cleaning products to hygienically cleaned apparel, fire protection services to first aid and safety supplies. That service you can't get from a box.
Oh, I'm ready!
Visit Cintas.com and get ready.
Throughout the evening hours, we'll gradually see some increasing clouds pushing in from the west, with temperatures slowly sliding into the 30s. We'll drop down to a low in the upper 20s tonight with northwest winds around 5 to 15 and cloudy conditions. Decreasing clouds in the morning of Friday will give way to a partly cloudy to mostly sunny afternoon with a high in the mid-40s, and then upper 40s close to 50 for Saturday, still partly cloudy with southeast winds between 10 and 20. From the Flag Skywatch Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Justin Storm.
Hi, this is Kevin Piper with Piper's Auction Company. Piper's upcoming auctions include 118 acres of exceptional cropland in Grand Forks County, North Dakota, 80 acres of excellent cropland in Trail County, and 620 acres of excellent crop and hunting land in Ramsey County. And don't forget the Dennis Johnson Equipment Estate Auction on October 27th in Kenmare, North Dakota, featuring John Deere tractors, Freightliner semi, and the McDonald 1170 Swather, and hundreds of more items. You can view all of these auctions and many more auctions at pipers.com or call Pipers 877-700-4099.
Flat rate fee saves you thousands of dollars with James Patrick Real Estate. The more I learn about these guys, it's really interesting what they're doing in the business right now. In fact, I'm on their website and they've got this listing fee comparison tool that I would invite you to go check out. What's amazing is that whether you're selling your home for $200,000 or $500,000, the fee to list and sell your home, it's the exact same. So when you compare that to maybe paying somebody a percentage-based commission, you actually end up saving thousands and thousands of dollars. So there's pages of testimonials up on their site as well. I want to share one with you. It says, Dan and his team is on top of the entire process and make it super easy to understand. We save so much money and time with James Patrick Real Estate. Thank you, Nick Olerud. So again, check them out. It's James Patrick Real Estate. Honest advice, proven results.
So the dream was to build your very own law practice, be your own boss, call all the shots. But have things like billing, HR, timekeeping, and all the other management stuff turned your dream into a nightmare? Take charge of your practice with Lexicon. We're the intersection of practice management software and legal support services for your firm. You'll get more billable and livable hours back. Lexicon marks the spot for all your practice management needs. Visit lexiconservices.com/intersection to get the whole story or schedule a demo.
Some people treat investing like a game, but Marcus by Goldman Sachs approaches investing in a smart way with digitally managed portfolios that leverage Goldman Sachs strategies. So, do you want to play games or do you want your money to work smart? You can money. Visit Marcus.com to learn more about saving, borrowing, and investing from Marcus by Goldman Sachs.
Investing involves risk and investments may lose value. Brokerage and investment advisory services by Goldman Sachs & Company, LLC. Member FINRA SIPC. Lending and deposits products provided by Goldman Sachs Bank USA. Member FDIC.
Hey guys, Kyle Cornell here, host of Kyle's Corner, which airs every Friday during the Blitz.
Nice to be able to fulfill something and to continue to do something and not just push it away.
A chance to get to know the young student athletes that are leading our community.
I think I'm learning to step up in that role as the person who the younger guys and other guys in the system can look up to.
That's right. Make sure you tune into the Blitz Fridays at 6 on AM 1100 The Flag and WDAY Radio to hear rock stars like these guys talk and all the high school sports coverage you need.
Hey, Chris here. If you're a CEO, maybe a CMO, and you handle marketing, websites, apps, software for your company, pay attention. There's a company out there right now, onsharp.com. They do incredible apps. Let's say you want to maybe save your business money, save your workers time by having an internal app. They can create that for you and get it right the first time. How's that for a software idea, getting it right the first time? Maybe you want to do a redo on your website, reach out to OnSharp and they're going to get it right the first time for you. So go to the website. It's onsharp.com/get it right. Hopefully you get that. Get it right the first time, right? So onsharp.com/get it right. They've got a free guide there if you're looking at ways to improve your website, maybe develop an app or even custom software development. Again, onsharp.com/get it right. Welcome back to the Chris Berg Show. Thank you so much for joining us here on this absolutely gorgeous Thursday afternoon. If you're just joining us, we've been talking about a surgeon in Fergus Falls. He was at the Lake Region Healthcare, had been there for 16 years. 16 years, this surgeon had been there serving people, the community, and their health. He spoke up recently at a school board meeting. I'm going to play for you what he said here in just a moment. Spoke up at a school board meeting. And after he spoke up at the school board meeting about saying, hey, I believe that face masks on kids should be a personal choice. I think that, or a parental choice, that should be a parental choice. This man is no longer welcome now to be a surgeon at Lake Region Healthcare. I'm going to give out the CEO of Lake Region Healthcare's contact information in a bit. First, I want to play for you, just so we are all on the same page here, what this surgeon said. Again, a surgeon talking about the science of masks with your kids is now no longer welcome at Lake Region Healthcare. So I'm going to play this whole thing. There's one piece I've got to pause for you because he did drop the S word for a moment. And here is Dr. Jeffrey Horick.
Sorry I'm late. You didn't miss your slot. You're just perfect. I was at a meeting, so it's take care of sitting. I'm not really sure why I'm here. I listened to a lot of people's discussions, including my partner. I don't know if she's still here, but it was a good discussion. She did a nice job. So did Dr. Coleman. They call the surgeon in when there's trauma. All right, look around. This community is in trauma. All right? I wore a mask for 38 years. I've been in a position for just that long. Everything I did put a mask on. And I can tell you, when I put that N95 mask on and just stood there and operated, I got headaches. I'm used to wearing masks. I'm not even trying to do it when I'm running or playing in the gym or all the other stuff. These masks, you want to stop the virus? The example of it is like trying to stop a mosquito with a chain link fence. Good luck. All right? Yes, I sneezed. That's all they're designed for. So I'm still not sure why I'm here. But yes. I take care of people. You know what this is about? This is about fear. I'm going to say it right now. This is about death. Everybody around here is scared that a kid may die in this community.
fear. That's what we said here at the show, right? What if you were going to put people and get them to do things irrationally? What would you do? Go after the kids. He just said this about fear. Yes, we're fearful that kids might die. So we were going to talk about this yesterday because Joe Biden yesterday laid out his plan on how he was going to vax all the 5 to 11-year-olds across the entire country. I would ask all of you to just take a moment and ask yourself, how many kids 5 to 11 have died from COVID in the great state of North Dakota? So all kids 5 to 11, the entire time we've had COVID, how many kids 5 to 11 do you think have died from COVID according to the North Dakota Department of Health? Question number 1. Question number 2, how many kids do you think have died in Minnesota due to COVID since the beginning of COVID? 5 to, their data is a little bit different. So 5 to roughly 14, I believe we have. But how many kids in Minnesota do you think have died due to COVID this entire time we've been talking about COVID? I'm going to play some more of this, and I will tell you the answer after this doctor's testimony.
I'm terrified of it too. But I've been the guy there who pronounced the kids when they died. We all remember, I'm not going to say her name, an 18-month little girl who got hit by a car. Her mom was a nurse. Maggie's was her primary doctor, and we tried to keep her going as long as we could. But it was time. I pronounced her. Because nobody else around them could. Because why? Because it's not about our science. You can find anything you want about science. You can go read anything. I can prove either side of this anytime. Looking anywhere I want, I can find the data that'll show what you think is right. You heard that from people out here. Social media, you heard it. Tom Roofer did an excellent job. I'm throwing my social media thing just away. So what do I do when I have to make life and death decisions? Because effectively, that's what you're being asked to decide. Somewhere along this part, you're going to have to decide, and your decision is going to make a life or death decision for some kid, or an adult, or like my partner said, her kid's uncle. Because that kid might have brought that to that uncle, and he got it, and he died. We all are going to die. It's a given. You cannot change it. Who do you believe? What is your foundation? This city has 17 Lutheran churches in its environment. You can't turn without seeing a church. Detroit, Michigan, you can turn without seeing a liquor store. I am blessed to be in this community, as are all of you. But now you were put in a position to make a decision. How do I make my decision? With my experience of 35, 38 years, with what I've seen. You know what the real magic is of what surgery does? You take, and one of you might need my services tonight, because chances are you're all going to have an ulcer. When you perforate your ulcer, you're going to call, and I'm going to show up, and I'm going to give you information real quick. I'm the expert. I'm going to tell you what you need. And 99% of the time, you're going to believe me. Most of it's hurt, so I got no choice. But these people are hurt. And they have no choice. They're not sure where to look. They're looking to you to make a decision. How do I make those decisions? I pray. I pray on the way in. Any one of you shows up tonight, I'm praying on the way in. When I walk in, I pray for you. I pray with you. I pray for the team. I ask for guidance. Fixing your ulcer? Well, this is the part you're supposed to know. I don't take any responsibility for that. I just put the two sides together. Okay? Just little strand. Anybody do it. Monkeys can do it. Monkeys do it in Detroit. God heals you. He mends that together within 24 hours. Just water tight and won't leak anymore. I take you through those places, but I get a present. I'm a tool by the Maker. Look to your Maker. Do what you need to do for the people who have been trusted this to you. Put yourself in their shoes. I don't know how you can put yourself in that woman whose child has to wear a mask, yet can't do her physical therapy or speech therapy. I don't know when you can do that decision. You mandate this across the board, that's a tough place to go. I would suggest, and it's just a suggestion, pray about it. Become real close to that and find out what he wants you to do. And then I would ask him to say, who does God put in charge of these kids? Their parents. Right? God gave each one of these kids to their child. I'm sorry, each one of these kids to their parents. And they speak for them. They may be wrong, they may be dumb, they may be perfect in their decisions, but it's still their responsibility. It's not yours. God gave it to them. Honor their wishes. Either side of the fence. Now let them decide if they want to go to school here or not. If they want to go to another school and pass up, so be it. If they want to stay here and not learn that, so be it. Take care of your people. Maybe that's what I'm hearing. God wins. And a lot of these people don't give your consent. They do not give consent. It's against the Constitution. But that's their story. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr.
A surgeon for 16 years shows up, talks about science, as you just heard there, says, hey, you can make this, data share with you or show you whatever you want to choose to believe, which I don't totally agree with that because I've looked at the studies that are out there. There's not conclusive evidence that masks are effective at mitigating it. But then he gets into, who did God give the responsibility to? The parents. I don't know if anyone said it better through this entire process that I've seen, at least. I thought that was genius. That was brilliant. The way he just framed the conversation around who should be making decisions about your kids and their health care. And as he said, many parents are afraid and they're looking at school boards going, so what are you going to do? What are you going to do? So that gentleman stands up, shares from experience, as he just talked about, when I make life and death decisions, what do? I use my education, my experience. He stands up, shares his point of view and makes some suggestions, as he says. He wasn't unruly. He wasn't violent. He was just making some suggestions. After 16 years, Lake Region Healthcare told him, hey, thanks, but no thanks. We don't want you here anymore. That guy no longer has a job as a surgeon to serve his community, but this preschool teacher probably is going to get a promotion.
2, 3. I wear a
This preschool teacher singing songs about wearing masks.
mask to school. I wear a mask to school. Hi ho the Dario. I wear a mask to school.
This is why we started the show with the song about we're taking back our freedom. Are you starting to see how the state wants to run your kids? And they have the trap laid for you to make you act irrationally. Do not fall for the trap. Keep your peace. I know it's easy when you hear this stuff. I'm sure you've heard it in my voice a little bit today. You get angry when you hear this stuff. A guy that just stands up and makes some suggestions, who's a doctor, who knows the science about masks, and now he no longer has a job. So I'm going to give out the contact information for the CEO at Lake Region Healthcare. Producer Chris, if you can bring this graphic up, please, on the live stream, that would be great. And look, wherever you stand, right? Maybe you think that this guy made the right decision on the doctor. Maybe you don't. But please share your point of view with Lake Region Healthcare, which, by the way, if anyone knows Dr. Jeffrey Horick, if you can contact him and have him call in to the show, that would be amazing. Number to call into the show, because we're going to have some open phones for you, 701-271-1100. All right, so the CEO of Lake Region Healthcare, Kent Matson, the phone number to contact the office there and let him know your point of view, 218-736-8000. Again, that's 218-736-8000, 218-736-8000. The email is info at lrhc.org. Again, info at lrhc.org. We're going to take a short break, and while we do that, I'm going to call the number myself right now. Again, 218-736-8000, 16-year surgeon, no longer welcome because he spoke out about masks at a school board meeting. Stay with us. When we come back, we're going to get to your phone calls, much more here on the Chris Berg Show. If you want to call into the show and share your point of view, 701-271-1100, 701-271-1100.
Everything hurts.
Does it hurt in the morning?
Yep.
How about the evening?
Yep.
How about on weekends?
Yep.
Weekdays?
Yep.
Up there by your neck?
Yep.
How about your back?
Yep.
Is there ever a time when it doesn't hurt?
No.
Migraines, hips, back. If you're experiencing pain, contact Dr. David Hanson at Renew Medical Clinic, located at the University Medical Center in Fargo, or online at renewmedicalpainclinic.com.
Are you like me? Are you constantly misplacing receipts? Hi, Teresa here from your local Red Wing shoe store with one of the many benefits you'll receive when purchasing a pair of Red Wing shoes. Each Red Wing shoe store creates a customer history that includes your size, what you've purchased, and a copy of your receipt in case there's any warranty issues. Not from Fargo? No problem. We'll ship directly to you, no charge. Now there's no reason to wait for a new pair of boots. Red Wing Shoes, 3003 Main Avenue in Fargo.
Mike Lindell has done it once again. A MyPillow for $19.98. Are you kidding me? That's right. Mike Lindell has an amazing offer for our listeners on his standard MyPillows. A standard MyPillow, regularly $69.98, is now only $19.98. There's all kinds of deep discounts right now on all MyPillow products. The MyPillow towels, the sheets, the mattress toppers, the slippers, and so much more. Just go to MyPillow.com, click on that radio listener square, and get this deal, $19.98 for Mike's standard MyPillow, or call 800-506-9028. Just use the promo code Scott at MyPillow.com or call 800-506-9028. Made in the USA, comes with a 10-year warranty. You know it's going to last, and a 60-day money-back guarantee. Nothing to lose. Go to MyPillow.com, promo code Scott, or call 800-506-9028 right now. MyPillow.com, promo code Scott, or call 800-506-9028.
Hello, this is Matt Lehman and Mike Walski with Fargo Roofing and Siding.
We are here to help you with all your commercial and residential roofing, siding, and window needs.
We will approach every job with what we call Fargo values of honesty, integrity, accountability, and strong work ethic. Whether it's insurance-related repairs, remodeling, or new construction projects, our team is here to help.
Premium quality, premium service, Fargo values, Fargo Roofing and Siding.
Ever been to New Jersey or New York City? The sub you're getting at Jersey Mike's is exactly what you'll find on the East Coast. No other sub in the Red River Valley is made even near to what this sandwich tastes like. The taste of a Jersey Mike's sub is exclusive. People who order all the time, they know, and people who try and come back say, wow. I wish I had enough time to drill down on the menu, and that's amazing too. Cold subs, hot subs, kids menu, sides, drinks, and desserts. Order online or take out, or use the Jersey Mike's app today.
Flat rate fee saves you $1,000 at James Patrick Real Estate. I want to invite you to check them out online. Again, it's James Patrick Real Estate. You and I both know you go out, you want to sell your home, and you're going to list it with an agent. They're typically going to charge you some kind of percentage based on the sale of your home. So if you sell your home for $250,000, it's a percentage of that. If you sell it for $500,000, it's a percentage of that. What's amazing with James Patrick Real Estate, and you can actually go on their website, they've got this cool listing fee comparison. No matter how much you sell your home for, their listing fee is the exact same. It's only $3,500, whether you sell it for $250,000, whether you sell it for $500,000. So they are saving you, their customers, thousands and thousands of dollars when they list your house. They've got a bunch of testimonials up on their website. I would invite you to go and read some of those. One of them says, hey, Dan and his team is on top of the entire process and make it super easy to understand. We save so much money and time with James Patrick Real Estate. Thank you, Nick Olerud. So go check him out. Again, it's James Patrick Real Estate. Honest advice, proven results. To the Chris Berg Show. Always great to have you with us here on your oasis of freedom, your hour of power, your oasis of truth, you and I working together to get to the truth. Again, I want to say thank you to the Chris Berg Show community. Many of you emailing into the show. This is how we came up with even today's breaking news in regard to this Fergus Falls surgeon that's no longer welcome back at the hospital because he simply spoke out at a school board meeting. So we're asking you, that's what the show is about, faith, freedom, and action, to take some action. And one of the ways you can take action, if you choose, is you can call the CEO at Lake Region Healthcare and share with him kindly, lovingly, your point of view about the fact that this surgeon now is no longer welcome at Lake Region Healthcare. The number to do that is 218-736-8000. I believe producer BG is actually calling there right now. We may actually put them live on the air if we can, just to get some answers. We know we're going to get, somebody there that's going to just probably say, hey, sorry, we don't answer those questions, or call media. And we want to show you with our actions that we're going to back things up. So she says that we're on hold right now, but the number there is 218-736-8000. Or if you want to send the CEO, Kent Matson, an email, that's very easy to do. You can email him info at LRHC. So that's Larry, Randy, Howard, Charlie, LRHC.org. I want to apologize. We got some emails where somebody said they could not hear the surgeon testify in front of the Fergus Falls School Board. So if you had challenges hearing that, I apologize. Maybe go to our StreamYard up on Facebook, which again is facebook.com/Chris Berg Show, facebook.com/Chris Berg Show. I'm just told that we are being transferred now, so we'll see maybe if that will bear some fruit and we get a chance to actually speak to somebody at Lake Region Healthcare. So because you as the Chris Berg Show community has been so amazing, I also want to remind you that help us help you. Help us help you. And what I mean by that is we've got the Chris Berg Show tip line. Producer Chris is telling me that we've got something happening here. So Chris, if you can communicate what you've got there, that would be great for our audience. Here's the Chris Berg Show tip line. If you've got an issue that you want us to go to work for you to find out, we will do that for you to uncover the truth. The number is 855-200-1776, 855-200-1776, extension 6. We've got a minute here, and I'm told that we've got Dr. Horick on the line. So Dr. Horick, thanks for calling into the show. I hate to do this to you, sir. We've literally got 60 seconds. Please share what's happening.
Well, first of all, thank you for the opportunity to speak. As you said before, I had an opportunity to speak in the past, and the community is pretty much in an uproar right now. I have this to say. Yesterday, I was approached by my employer and my peers. I was asked to either resign or terminate my employment at Lake Region. And I love Lake Region. I'm a community member. I've been a surgeon here for 15 years. My only assumption is it had something to do with my ability to speak out in the community. My First Amendment rights, I think, were applicable to that. You've apparently heard what I said. The community is in an uproar, and I do not want any ill feelings to the hospital or my partners. All right, this is a much bigger situation. I don't have the reason. My contract doesn't allow for it. I don't know if it was because I spoke up, if it was because I spoke for parents, if it was because I spoke against the mask mandate, if I spoke up because of freedom for a religious choice, freedom for a health choice. I don't know, but I spoke up. I spoke up because God told me to speak up. If you watch that video, I don't remember starting. The only thing I remember is ending and walking out. That was all Holy Spirit. So if you don't believe that, I'm sorry, but I will speak that forever and ever. I don't have much else to add. At this point, my family and I are still trying to decide what we're going to do. Our next step, we're not sure what it is. And I hold no ill harm or ill wishes to the community or the hospital or my partners.
Dr. Horick, first and foremost, I just want to say I'm sorry what's happened to you. And I want you to know that myself and the community here is praying for you. And I also want to say thank you.
thank you for what you said at that meeting. I don't know if you heard what I had to say in reaction to your comments, and I haven't heard anybody say it as well and as eloquently as you have in regards to saying, hey, who did God give these children to? It's the parents. And so first off, just thank you, sir. So what I guess my most important question for you, and I've been told we can extend this conversation, is as a community, what can we do to support you? What would you like to have the community do to help you?
You know, the fact that people are praying and they're coming together. And my hope and prayer is that they wake up, that people wake up and speak, that they speak out and they don't just accept what's going on in our world right now. There are places to look. Go look for this information. Look what is written most well in the mainstream media, the CDC, and all that stuff, but go to other places. Look for other information because there is other information out there. And God wants me to speak truth. Speaking truth means the mainstream message. You got to figure out if it's real. Science without God isn't science. All right. God puts science to the test. If your science doesn't have God in it, then you serve evil. You have to decide which side you're on. And the last thing I want to say is, in all of this, God has won. He's already won the entire battle. We know that. We've seen the Bible. We know who wins.
If you're just joining us, Dr. Jeffrey Horek, he is a 16-year surgeon at Lake Region Healthcare in Fergus Falls. Folks, he stood up. He spoke out. He understands this at a school board meeting about masks, which we all know is a very hot topic. And now he is no longer a surgeon after 16 years at Lake Region Healthcare. He's joining us now. Doctor, if you don't mind, can you take us inside? So you go out, you're serving the community for 16 years, doing an amazing job, I presume. You speak out, and then walk us through the timeline from when you spoke at the school board meeting to when you were alerted about possibility of termination, and take us inside those conversations.
Well, I spoke out at the school board meeting on the 11th of October. 9 days later, I received from my employer, actually my peers, the termination notice or resignation notice. I had nothing really else in between the two times.
So was there anything in your file previous to October 11th that would give them a reason to ask for your resignation or termination?
We have what's it called? It's a without cause termination. So there's really no way to know that.
Okay.
They can terminate me at any point under no circumstances. It's just the fact that one occurred and then the next. The community has been up in arms about this, and I'm not sure. I mean, and I probably will never know. That's not the point. The point is not that I was terminated or resigned. The point is that people need to wake up and look at what's going on around them. You speak your mind and go forward. You have your rights, God-given rights. Do not give those up. You have rights to healthcare. You can make your decision. I think you should make it with a healthcare provider. You should talk to each other and come up with a plan. But if your plan doesn't agree with your doctors or what the three-letter groups, those three-letter agencies say, you shouldn't be held to do what they say. God doesn't call you to do that. God calls you to make a decision with your healthcare provider.
Sir,
and I support healthcare providers making those decisions with their people. It's not about me in the hospital. Yes, I'm a casualty. God will take care of me. I'm not worried about it. We'll get through it.
You and I are going to pray here in a moment.
I don't want.
Go ahead.
No, I just don't want people to be sorry for decisions that they made without hearing both sides of the story. And you have to look for the other side of the story. You have to go look for the other side of the story. The story of what may not be told to you about the virus, about the vaccine, about what the masks are. The narrative that's coming out, look somewhere else. Go to other websites. Go to Dr. Tenpenny's website. Go to Dr. Artist's website. You can just go on DuckDuckGo and Google anything you want. You'll get correct, information. I'm sorry, you'll get different information that is provided by Google or Siri or Safari. And that, when you see that, should alert you that there's another side to this coin. That's the piece.
So
you cannot live in fear. God has this. Go forward. Don't live in fear. Do your research. And remember, God has already won this. We're just going through it.
So here's my ultimate question for you. You understand this from a scientific perspective. You've got a lot of experience. You didn't say anything that was hyperbolic in that communication at the school board meeting. Why ask for your resignation and or termination?
Well, I guess that is my question. I'll never have an answer to that. That is not going to be something I'm going to get an answer to. And I'm okay with that. That is my contract. I signed that contract. I knew that 16 years ago. I've been on the board of the clinic. These are my friends. These are my friends. These are my peers. This is my community. All right. I will not say anything bad about them. They're not. Something else happened here. This is a bigger picture. This is good versus evil. I spoke up. I can't be allowed to speak up. I don't know who decided it, but somebody decided it.
So is there any verbal communication between you and the CEO or the leaders or the board, or is it just all done via emails and letters?
No, I got to talk to my chairman of my board, chairman of the clinic board. Yes, I was able to speak with him.
And can you take us inside that conversation? What was communicated?
That I have a choice, like we said, termination or resignation. Both are equal. They don't really play anything different as far as I can tell. And the clause in the contract, as they knew, as we've used this on many other people, is a no cause. Either side can terminate without cause. And that's perfectly acceptable. It's a contract, simple contract. It's a business. But again, that's the business. I'm not upset about it. I know the community is, well, I can't service them anymore, but we'll find people to service them. That will be made up. I mean, we've got people. The hospital is very good. And I support the hospital. I've always supported the hospital. I will never not support the hospital.
Sir, I understand where you're going. I'm trying to, if you don't mind though, extrapolate your situation out to other people within our community, because I just played a clip earlier in the show where you have a preschool teacher. And again, you know the science of mask, a preschool teacher standing in front of a preschool class, sir, singing a song, I'm going to wear a mask. We wear masks. We keep her. I mean, she's basically indoctrinating these little kids when there's no conclusive evidence to show that masks actually mitigate COVID-19. And now here you are, a casualty of this situation, this war. And I'm just wondering, do you think this was a shot across the bow to put, you used the word fear yourself, to put fear into people to not speak up?
Well, I'm sure it was.
Okay.
I mean, it feels that way.
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't about anything other than that meeting, as far as I know. But that doesn't mean I don't have 100% on that. I don't think a description of what you just, about that school teacher is right, but that's my opinion. The science works perfectly. You can prove anything on either side. I've done that for years. I'm so old at this training. I don't believe the science when the science is paid for by the people who are selling the product. Most science now is done by the company that sells the medicines. Or, they have another agenda. You have to figure that out. That's what I'm talking about. You have to go look for that. I don't know, other than trusting in God. Again, if you don't have God in your science, you serve somebody else. It's about First Amendment. It's about freedom of choice. It's all of those things. And parents, God put you in charge of your kids. Make the decision that he calls you to make. And administrators, everybody else, hear God's answer. The parents are responsible. That is their choice. I don't know how we've gotten to the point where everybody makes decisions for us. We've given that up. It doesn't fit with what I know and what I've seen. Constitution doesn't say that. We're sovereign individuals given rights by God, and they're being violated. And that's not what this that's not what this country's been founded on. That's
Dr.
not at
Hork,
all what the country's been founded on.
not at all. And that's why I'm so grateful for you standing up. Sir, we've got to wrap things up. So I just want to give you the last word. Is there anything that I have not asked you that I should have, or anything else you want to share with our audience that you think is critically important to know?
I want to thank all of the members of this community on whatever side you are for talking to us, to sending us emails. Your prayers are so appreciated. Your comments are so appreciated. But I want to say, don't give up here. All right. Step up. It's time, gentlemen, it's time to man up. All right. Take back our community. If the board, school boards are not supporting you, there are ways to change that. Step it up. Mandates, you can go to every level of government. We, the people, need to speak. There's lots of people out there who say this, and I'm not a casualty. I'm just a spokesperson. My wife, she may be a casualty.
Meaning?
Well, we lost her income yesterday. We just lost her
That's
income.
what I was going to ask. So what's next for you?
So my wife also spoke up at the board meeting there right before me. So if you haven't seen her 6 minutes, that was a very powerful statement. But she's been attacked also.
So what's next for you, sir? What's the next move?
We're trying to figure that out right now. We don't know.
Okay.
We're in prayer. It's a plan. Either way, God's got us. We'll be good. God wins no matter what.
Folks, if you're just
I hope
joining,
that helped answer your questions.
it does. If you don't mind, I'm going to have you hold and have our producer get your contact information if you're okay sharing that with us, because I would love to stay in contact with you and see what we can do to support you. And for people out there listening, if you're just joining us, this is Dr. Jeffrey Horek. He spoke up at a school board meeting in Fergus Falls in regards to the science, which you've been told to follow the science, folks, in regards to masks and mask mandates. He speaks up as an MD, as a surgeon, and now is no longer employed at Lake Region Healthcare. And it's presumed because he spoke up at a school board meeting, folks. That's where we're at in this nation right now. And that's why he's saying to you, please wake up and pray, and that we're going to get this thing figured out. So, doctor, you're in our prayers. God bless you. Thank you for taking a stand. And please let us know what we can do to support you. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. God bless you. Thank you so much for joining us here today. Obviously, we went a little bit over because that was such an important phone call to Naomi Birkeland. Says, my heart is breaking for him and his family. Mine too, Naomi, to see a doctor that served his community so well for so long to simply say, hey, I've got some suggestions. You can hear it when you go back and listen to the show. These are just some suggestions as an MD, to lose his job. And yet there's a teacher out there in front of preschool kids singing songs about wearing masks. And for all we know, she still has her job and probably even got a promotion. That's the world that we live in right now. Daniel says, hey, prayers, keeping the doctor and his wife in prayer. We'll continue to stay in touch with him and see what we can do as a community to help him out. Everybody, thanks so much for joining us here today. I want to say thank you to this Chris Berg Show community for the information that you are bringing us and sharing with us. We gave you out the tip line. Marie says, hey, this is happening everywhere. And this is exactly why you need to tune into the show. Talk about the show with your family and friends. Have them tune in, because together we are going to change this. We are going to make a change. Want to remind you the Chris Berg Show tip line. That number, if you've got a tip, help us, help you, help us, help you. If you've got something that you want uncovered, call in and let us know. The number is 855-200-1776. Again, 855-200-1776, extension 6. Extension 6. Or email our super producer, chris.larson@flagfamily.com. chris.larson@flagfamily.com. This is The Flag, AM 1100 and FM 92.3, WZFG, Dilworth, Fargo, Moorhead, West Fargo, USA. We now join, in progress, the great one, Mark.